not only are there different regions of wines, but there are also different types of wine in terms of the wine growing and making process. There's the regular standard wine. There's also organic and biodynamic.
Do you want me to say it? There's your pretty standard, just kind of growing and harvesting kind of viticultural
Yeah, run of the mill.
Run of the mill.
Yeah.
Then there's organic. There's biodynamic.
Yeah.
And then there's one that you were talking about.
Super dynamic bio.
Right, and that is untested. It's not approved by the FDA.
Yeah.
And that's actually the opposite of organic or biodynamic. It's actually extremely unnatural.
Yeah, it's all done in the lab. That's why you got to be careful. You got to make sure your grapes are grown in a vineyard. Make sure it has a picture of vineyard on the label.
Yeah, that shit is straight up dangerous.
Yeah, a vineyard has grapes, grapevines, and they're usually kind of rows. You'll go down vineyard and you'll see the rows of vines growing up. They go about yay tall, and
depending on the variety.
Yeah, and so the difference, although between the standard run-of-the-mill and then you go into the biodynamic, is sort of how wild it all is. You know, if there are other plants or animals running around.
Totally true. So basically, your standard run-of-the-mill is going to just they're going to plant grapes, they're going to grow the grapes, and you know, if they have a problem with some sort of fungus or some sort of pest, you spray something.
You
and
spray
you just
a
get
little
rid of
pesticide,
yeah, exactly.
a little Roundup.
You just get rid of the problem, right?
Yeah.
And that's very okay by American standards. Then organic says no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to spray any sort of chemical. And that's pretty traditional technique in the French world as well as in a lot of South American and really actually most of Europe is organic because most Europeans don't really like pesticides in their products. Americans kind of turn a blind eye.
Yeah, but guess what? We're healthier.
Like organic says no chemicals, no like modifying things post harvesting.
Yeah.
They will do certain things like spray copper or other natural.
Really? How do you spray copper? It's a metal.
Right. So you break it down to a very fine form and you mix it.
Doesn't sound organic to me.
And a lot of people don't think that it's clean enough, and so they do things like biodynamic, which actually
that's a step up.
Is a little closer to witchcraft. It's where you actually take your grapes and you grow them and you adjust your technique based off of everything in the universe, including celestial beings, including energetic waves, including time of the year, the way that the crops are actually adapting to different things. You use different wild animals to help you maintain the ecosystem. You even go so far as to do things like spray crystals over your crop because that will actually polarize and intensify the energetic pathways. And then another really common thing is you do things like bury ram's horns full of certain types of manure at certain times of the lunar pattern.
It all does sound like witchcraft.
It's very similar to witchcraft.
But then one interesting thing about biodynamic, we saw once we were with Malcolm in Sonoma. We went to a biodynamic vineyard and there was a guy, this was his job, he was walking around to each grape bundle and talking to the grapes. And we asked him, what are you doing, you know?
Yeah, and basically the idea is the way that you actually communicate with the plant will affect the actual chemical structure of the grape and actually make higher sugar content, a little drier, a little healthier root stock, whatever you need done. If you actually talk to a plant in a positive manner, growth increases and is actually more fruitful for the plant.
Now, Michael saw this guy, he was really interested, and he kind of took him under his wing, this gentleman, and he's actually been training, and so we wanted to show you a little example. We wanted to, you have a little beautiful, now what kind of grapes are these?
These are champagne grapes, aka Chardonnay.
So now can you just show us sort of what a grapist, that's what they're called, what a grapist does in a biodynamic vineyard. So let's say you want this, so champagne grapes, so you want this to be bubbly. Well, what are you going to do?
Well, bubble's going to come from the actual fermentation process.
But what would you do?
Well, I'd want it to be a little sweeter, okay?
Right.
So I might say might talk to it like, hey there little guy, how you doing? You're looking really good today. I notice you have a little bit of a rosy pink hue to your skin. It's looking really great. You're doing a really great job. Keep it up.
Oh, it's very sweet. You know he's not talking to me, but it feels like he's talking to me and I feel really good. If I were a grape, I would be like, yeah, more sugar. Now, Would you, as a grapist, are you only talking, or are you touching the grapes at all?
Well, it depends. Sometimes you really want to like develop a relationship with the grapes, so you really get to know them.
Yeah.
Now, of course, these grapes are severed, so there's not going to be a huge variation in their actual structure, but just as a demonstration. Let's say we want a little bit bolder, like a little bit more intense tannins, more noticeable acids, so you get a little saucy with it. Yeah.
You're sassy with this grape.
It's looking so round and plump. So dangly.
Yeah. There you go. Oh yeah. Would you spank it a little? No?
That's rude.
That's what I'm sorry.
That's not enough. That's not
great. Now, what if you wanted your?
You can't touch it.
What if you wanted them? What if you wanted them to be dry?
You're looking really green, grapes.
Burn.
Wow, you're doing so well. Look at your bunch formation. It's looking very healthy.
It's not looking healthy. That's sarcasm.
You look like you're really evenly distributing your sugar content. Things like that. You're just placing NPR. The slower and more boring, the better.
What would happen if you told a joke to a grape? What would that do to the grapes?
You got one?
Yeah. How close do I have to be?
Whatever feels comfortable.
What's green, skinny, and smells like pork? Kermit the Frog's finger.
Why would it smell like pork?
It's piggy.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's disgusting.
When is a car not a car?
When?
When it turns into a driveway. Did you notice anything?
No, I think it would have to be a funny joke for it to affect it. It's okay.
Okay. Listen. Grip a seat.
Yeah, they do.
Oh no, we're not.
We're not brothers.